How's it going, everybody? It is Eevee. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day, and welcome back to some more Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battles here in the UU tier. The team I'm using is in the description if you want to try it out, and also make sure to hit that like button if you do enjoy these Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battles. So, just going to lead off with my Mega Aggron Max Special Defense as he leads off with Ribombee. Probably he just wants to go for Sticky Webs, usually Ribombee as a lead of choice. Our Focus Sash with Sticky Webs, maybe Moonblast, Quiver Dance, and Hidden Power Fire. So Tinkerbee is going to be brought down to his Focus Sash from my Mega Aggron. And Mega Aggron can just go for another Heavy Slam. If he wants to stay in, he loses his Ribombee. He's not going to do too much damage to me, but he decides to switch out into the Empoleon. And Empoleon doesn't take anything from that, and it reveals to have leftovers, so that's good. I decided to stay in here because I was kind of expecting him to maybe predict me to go into Tentacruel, because Tentacruel is a very nice switch against Empoleon, but he actually just went for a Scald, which is fine as well to maybe burn me on the Tentacruel. I was risking a burn. Scald does have a 30% chance to burn, so luckily I did not get burned right there. And I get some nice Earthquake damage up on the Empoleon. So now I go into my Tentacruel. I have Rapid Spin on my Tentacruel as well, and he decides to get his Stealth Rocks up as I switch out into Tentacruel. So I can Rapid Spin and get rid of the Sticky Webs and the Stealth Rocks right there. He just decides to get his Rocks back up, and fine play by him because he's getting more Leftovers recovery, and Rapid Spin does not really do much to Empoleon. But at the same time, I could keep Rapid Spinning and just getting rid of his Rocks and wait until he switches out or he loses all his PP and Stealth Rocks. But at the same time, he does get recovery with the Leftovers, so I'm going to try and burn him now with the Scald, but he did switch out right there into Manectric, and Manectric doesn't appreciate that. That did a decent amount because it's not Mega yet, and he got burnt as well, which doesn't really matter since Manectric is a special attacker. So I go into Hydreigon. It's going to be my choice Scarfer on the team, and I can pretty much take any hits from Mega Manectric as he just throws off the Thunderbolt. And luckily, no Paralyzed, 10% chance. And I can easily just scare this guy out if he is expecting a Choice Scarf Hydreigon, but no real reason not to click Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse knocks out Manectric from the range it's at. So he actually brought in Empoleon. Empoleon will not take 2 Dark Pulses, no matter how specially defensive you are. Most Empoleons are specially defensive. It's just a great, especially Spadef Mon in the UU tier. So in comes Ribombee. I guess he didn't expect me to be Choice Scarf because he brought in Ribombee. I don't know. He switched out Manectric without Volt switching, so you probably just wanted to sack your Ribombee for no reason. But anyways, he brought on Gengar. I don't want to risk it being Choice Scarf and Focus Blast me, so I go into Tentacruel as it's a safe play. Also, Tentacruel has some pretty good special defense, so I can see what kind of Gengar he is, and he does just go for the Focus Blast, and that does nothing since I do resist it. So I'm guessing it's going to be Choice Scarf Gengar. On a Sticky Web team, by the way, as well. So I go for Rapid Spin, get rid of those Stealth Rocks. In comes the Swellow. Nice play, I guess, expected me to Rapid Spin. And also, it turns out it's going to be a probably Gut Swellow because I see that Flame Orb on it. So that's scary, but at least Mega Aggron does have like insanely high defense, like over 200. And I'm a Steel type, so I can resist everything Swellow wants to go for. Luckily, Swellow is not going to be the Boom Burst set with Heat Wave because that could do a lot of damage, to be honest. That's the more popular set, I would say. So he just goes Protect, just, I guess, wanting to take more damage from the Flame Orb. I don't know. I just decided to get my Rocks up now because he protected. Maybe he wants to try and attack me again. Rocks are just nice to whittle down to Swellow if he switches out any other Pokemon as well. So then came Manectric. I don't want to take a T-Ball. I can just go into Zeraora. Zeraora is nice because it does have Volt Absorb, and I'm immune to that. And also I can take a Flamethrower, Overheats, and Hidden Power Ice, and I'm faster than Mega Manectric, so that's pretty good. So I can just go for a knockoff as it can do a lot of damage to everything on his team, and he just brings in Gengar, and I just one-shot that guy. I'm banded Zeraora, so it does a lot of damage. Also, it hits the Mamoswine if you wanted to bring that in as well. So that was a Choice Scarf Gengar, by the way. That's really cool on a Sticky Web team. Anyways, I go to Scizor because Scizor, I was feeling that maybe I could take anything like an Earthquake, Icicle Crash, and then just Bullet Punch him. But he actually switched out, I guess pulling a double into Manectric right there. But it doesn't matter because Manectric, even after Intimidate, from the range it's at, Life Orb Scizor is going to knock you out, no matter how much you resist it. So down it goes. And Scizor just looks like it can clean up the game at this point because nothing much on his team can really take Bullet Punches. So I just go for another Bullet Punch, doesn't really matter if I'm -1 because Mamoswine is not going to take that. Even with a critical hit, I mean, it didn't really matter, to be honest. I still had Pokemon in the back to take care of his Pokemon like Zeraora, just close combats and kind of win. So in came Swallow, and I'm just going to Bullet Punch that as well, and Swallow is going to go down to the Scizor. And that is going to be a GG versus Gaby right there. So pretty interesting team versus Gaby. Gaby brought a lot of not really used Pokemon in the UU tier, like Swallow and the Bombi, but the other 4 are pretty like common Pokemon you run into in the UU tier. Maybe not so much, I guess, Megametrix a lot. Like Zeraora is, I guess, ran more than Megametrix, but yeah. That's it. Raikou did drop to RU, so that's something. Better electric type, that means the other electric types go down in usage. That's how tiers work. So next up we have versus Alex on the list, and Alec is running a Durant, and maybe another Sticky Webber, Araquanid, and potential Shell Smash Cloyster, so a lot of offense. And then he has that Empoleon, so I'm thinking that's going to be Stealth Rocker maybe, and then Komodo could be a Dragon Dance set, and Crawdon maybe Swords Dance. We'll have to wait and see. Very offensive team. I'm thinking maybe Durant could be like Hone Claws and Z-Move as well. So I'm expecting maybe Empoleon or Araquanid to lead. I just lead off with my Hydreigon because I can just U-turn on one of those guys or just throw off a Dark Pulse on the Durant. But he leads off Komodo, so interesting. Komodo does not appreciate against the Hydreigon, but I just U-turn because I don't expect him to stand. And I also was thinking maybe Komodo is a Stealth Rocker because it does learn Stealth Rocks. So anyways, I bring in Zeraora. My banded Zeraora is just going to break through something against this team. He has no good switching at all. Empoleon does not appreciate Plasma Fist, so he just stays in. I just go for the Plasma Fist, and yeah, Empoleon's going to go bye-bye. So good job, Zeraora. You did good. You need to have like a Chestnut or a Hippowdon to take on Zeraora, or maybe a Nidoqueen. Something really bulky defensively and just immune to electric as well is good. But Komodo gets a free setup right here, which is scary. I go into my Tentacruel, as Tentacruel can kind of maybe take hits from Komodo if he wants to throw off a close combat, but nope, he just went for the Dragon Dance and just throws off an Outrage, so down goes Tentacruel. I was really scared of him just going for a Dragonium Z, because then I will have to go on Hydreigon either way at least, but still, at least I would know he's Dragonium Z Komodo. Maybe he's not. I was kind of scared that what if he was a Focus Sash Komodo with Outrage, that would have been really bad for me, because then Hydreigon would go down, and then I had to go into Scizor and Bullet Punch him. So anyways, luckily Hydreigon Choice Scarf outspeeds Komodo +1 speed, and I get to just revenge that guy. And also he couldn't switch out because he was locked into Outrage. So anyways, in comes the Araquanid. I switch out my Hydreigon into Aggron because I predict maybe a Bug Move or a Sticky Web from him, but he actually went for Substitute, so that's pretty cool. Didn't expect that, a Substitute Araquanid. I just decided to get my Rocks up. Araquanid can't do much damage to me unless he has Scald and wants to try and burn me. That could be annoying, but he actually just gets his webs up right there. So Substitute Webs. I'm thinking his last 2 moves are Liquidation and maybe Leech Life, maybe Poison Jabs, one of those 2. But yeah, he's leftover, so that's pretty cool. On his Araquanid, I mean, Araquanid hits like a truck with its Water Bubble. Liquidation, that's really all you need, to be honest. And then getting those webs up is pretty nice for him. Especially since I lost my Rapid Spinner Tentacruel to that Outrage Komodo. Anyways, I'm just going to try and break this Araquanid's Substitute, and then I'm going to try and Toxic it. That's the plan. Unfortunately, though, Araquanid, I think, does get a defense drop on me. Liquidation does have, I think, a 20% chance to lower my defense, and no, I don't think, did he get it? I don't know. I didn't read on the bottom text. Maybe one of you guys did, but I think, if I remember in the battle, he did. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I break his Substitute in 2 turns of Heavy Slam, and then I get a nice Toxic off and put him on a timer just in case he wants to substitute again. I can just rack up all that beautiful damage, and luckily I did take another Liquidation, so I can go for another Heavy Slam and just dish off a little bit more chip damage on him. And Araquanid is pretty weakened to the point where maybe I can knock him out with one of my other Pokemon. So I think I bring in Zeraora here, since Zeraora seems pretty dang free, and I can just fire off another Plasma Fist. No, actually I brought in Empoleon because at this point in the game, oh yeah, I wanted to go for Agility versus his team because I'm actually running a modest Agility Empoleon. It's pretty cool. I think the person who made this team, nextgenbrandon or something, I don't know, I'll put in the description. Really liked it a lot with the Agility Empoleon, Grass Knot, Ice Beam, and Hydro Pump. And I Agility twice just to make sure I outspeed everything because of the Sticky Webs, so I don't have to, you know, lose my Empoleon. Unfortunately, there is a defense drop. Maybe I remember Empoleon getting defense dropped right there, so that really sucks. So maybe he can knock me out with like an Aqua Jet, a Crawdont, or a Ice Shard from the Cloyster in the back. But other than that, hopefully Empoleon can sweep. That's what I'm planning on. I take those Liquidations, just trying to weaken him with the Grass Knot as well, but Araquanid is really bulky. Luckily, Toxic does knock him out, though. So that Toxic was really clutch from Aggron. In comes Cloyster. I can just go for a Grass Knot to one-shot him, so that's pretty good. Luckily, he didn't bring in Crawdon and, you know, Aqua Jet me and potentially knock me out. I think I can live an Aqua Jet even with a -1 defense, though. So I think I can also knock out Crawdon with a Grass Knot because actually Empoleon has really good special attack, 111. Unfortunately, though, he knocks me out with the Aqua Jet and critical hits me. I don't know if that mattered, but oh well. Maybe he's banded. And Crawdon is massively powerful with adaptability choice band, so... Anyways, I'm going to Zeraora. I'm still faster than like everything except for the Durant, which he just brought in on my Zeraora, and that is not going to live a Plasma Disc. So nice for me that he just said now it's Durant. And Crawdon's not going to be able to outspeed my Zeraora at all, and can never knock me out with an Aqua Jet. Maybe with Aqua Jet crit though, potentially. I don't know. I'll have to calc that. But I can live a raw Aqua Jet. Yeah, maybe with... Yeah, I don't think he can that invaded judging from that damage. It's supposed to be damage. Maybe that crit did matter. Because I can just Hydro Vortex the Durant, or even Hydro Vortex the Crawdon as well, because Crawdon's, I don't think, is going to live that. But I think if Grass Knot knocks out Crawdon, I'll probably just went for that as well. So yeah, that is going to be Game 2. Now Game 3 versus Joey. And Joey's team, he has a lot of stuff that can switch into Zeraora pretty effectively, and if he plays around it right, because Chestnut's a really good switch into Zeraora. And then also, if he predicts me to go for a knockoff, he can go into Cobalion. And then he has a nice switch into Hydreigon, which is going to be his Alolan Muck. Also, the Altaria, if it does Mega, that's going to be very annoying. But a Pokemon that could give him trouble is going to be my Aggron, since it does have Toxic and Heavy Slam and Earthquake, so I could give him a little bit of trouble. And also, Scizor looks pretty nice if I can weaken his Cobalion. Scizor, and maybe the Starmie as well, and Chandelure if I get Rocks up. I can just Swords Dance up and kind of just Bullet Punch everything, so got to keep in mind just to try and whittle down everything. And then maybe also Empoleon as well could do a lot of work versus his team. That's for sure if I can whittle down his team. So that's the plan for me, to hopefully get Rocks up. But he does have a really good Rap Spinner, which is that Starmie. So I lead off with Aggron in the back of my mind, trying to get the Rocks up. He leads off with Chestnut. Chestnut isn't the biggest a deal since it can't do much damage to me, but it is a little bit annoying because it does have like Taunt, Spikes, Leech Seed. It could be a lot of trouble for Aggron just to taunt me, but luckily it just goes for Leech Seed and no taunt on the Chestnut. Chestnut does have like the 4 move syndrome where you just want to run a lot of moves on it because it does have very useful moves, and it has a pretty nice niche in the UU tier, being able to just like switch it on Zeraora, unless you have like Volume Z Zeraora, something like that I've seen. But anyways, I landed Toxic on Chestnut, which is beautiful. Put that guy in a timer, very nice. Now I decided to get my Rocks up, but he makes a nice play going into the Starmie. And man, Starmie is really washed out with the colors in this game. They really changed it a lot from Let's Go to Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I remember them talking about that. That's just a side note. But yeah, a lot of the colors in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are really washed out. Luckily, they changed it in Let's Go and hopefully continuously make him more vibrant. But either way, he missed a Hydro Pump right there, which was huge because I think Zeraora just got balked by that. Which I'm like, whew, if that was Analytic Life Orb, which it probably was, Zeraora would have been gone, most likely. So he switches into Cobalion on the knockoff. Very nice play as it doesn't take anything. Unfortunately, I'm going to be banded, so maybe he just predicted me to be banded, or I don't know. Maybe he just knew the team. Not too sure. I mean, I think maybe some other PokeTubers use this team as well, so maybe he just knew. But yeah, I go into my Tentacle as he Swords Dances up, so he's +3 from the Justified boost. He got +1 from a knockoff. You know, Justified, if you get hit by a Dark move, you get +1. So Tentacle is not going to live that at all. Unfortunately, Tentacle, even if you resist it, doesn't really have the best defense, so down it goes. I have to pretty much sack him on right there. But now I can bring in Zeraora again, and hopefully just go for a close combat, maybe break through something. If he brings in Chandelure, that would be a nice play, though, because it is going to be immune to me. So in comes Chestnut, takes that close combat like a champ, and unfortunately, I'm going to lower my defense a lot, and then he's going to regain a lot of HP back. I probably should have just switched out right here, but I do stay in with another close combats, maybe expecting him to go for a Leech Seed. Also, maybe if he wants to go for a Synthesis, something like that, but nope, he goes for a Drain Punch. Really risky, because if he had One Hammer, goodbye Zeraora, but at the same time, I think he would go down after Recoil and Toxic damage, so it's smart for him to just go for the Drain Punch at that point. So I'm going to switch out over here because I don't want to lose my Zeraora. I mean, it would be nice to just close combat him again. But if he goes for Drain Punch, then down I go. But he does reveal to have Synthesis, so Leech Seed, Synthesis, Drain Punch, on his chestnut is all I know from this point. So I'm going to Scizor, as Scizor is pretty threatening because he doesn't know what I am. I could just like Swords Dance up and be annoying to him, so he actually goes into Chandelure. I go for a superpower expecting Cobalion to come in. I thought Cobalion would be the switch in if I wanted to go for a Swords Dance or a U-turn, but very nice play for him to do that. And now he goes and pulls a double on me into a Alola, I guess expecting Hydreigon, which to be expected. That's a pretty obvious switch in against Chandelure, because what is Chandelure going to do against Hydreigon? Hidden Power Fighting? Like, maybe if you're Specs Fire Blasting, can do kind of some type of damage, but other than that, yeah, Alola Muck was really nice right there. So anyways, I can switch into Mega Aggron and just do a little bit of chip damage to the Alola Muck with that U-turn, and I can take anything from the Alola Muck with my Mega Aggron. I just throw off a Heavy Slam because it hits everything pretty dang hard. In came Starmie. I predict him to go for a Wrap Spin. If he wants to go for Hydro Pump, I can take that. And yeah, he reveals he's going to be Life Orb, so it's pretty nice. He's going to knock himself out with the next hit if he doesn't want to attack me, and I decide to get my Stealth Rocks up. So Stealth Rocks will be here to stay, and that is very important to weaken this team. And Mega Aggron is lucky enough to live that hit. Luckily, he didn't miss though, because that would really be unfortunate for him. He's missing 2 Hydro Pumps, because he could have just knocked out my Zeraora in the beginning. So anyways, in comes Cobalion. I'm just gonna sack my Mega Aggron because it doesn't really do anything anymore. It's outsped by everything, so I don't have any way of restoring its HP anymore. So I just let it go down. And now in comes Zeraora, and plus I don't have a switch into Cobalion looking at my team anymore. Tentacruel's gone. Goodbye, my team, whenever Cobalion comes in. So I just go for a Plasma Fist, just non-fancy goes into Chandelure or Altaria. I don't want to go for a close combat, and he goes in one of those two. But it would be nice for them to take Stealth Rock damage, but at the same time, if Altaria comes in and Dragon Dance is up, that's going to be bad. So I'd rather have Chestnut come in. Even though I still have Scizor to Bullet Punch it, still Altaria could be packing like Fire Blast or some shenanigan like that. He could be special as well instead of Dragon Dance, so you never really know. Anyways, Scizor, I go for a superpower because I expected Cobalion to come in again, but he does not go into Cobalion, which is smart. I just really thought that maybe he would predict me to go for a Swords Dance and Cobalion can stop that. But at the same time, Cobalion can't really knock me out with a close combat raw. So, you know, the best play for him to just stay in, I guess. So he goes for Spike Shield as I go for a Bullet Punch. Scizor is just knocking itself out. I don't have Roost on here as well, so that really sucks. Life Orb is knocking myself out as well. And yeah, I missed 3 attacks with Swords Dance, which is pretty nice. Scizor is really offensive, but the lack of recovery really bites me in the booty over here. So Chestnut goes down to the superpower, and gonna lose a little bit of life. And now in comes Cobalion. And gonna have to sack him on here. I decided to sack Hydreigon because looking at his team, Hydreigon doesn't really look the best versus Altaria, Cobalion. Like, I'd rather have the other mons in the back, and I think Empoleon might be able to pull through if I have a chance to set up versus his mons. Like, that's what I'm trying to win with, is Empoleon. Hopefully Empoleon can win it for me. So I go into Zeraora over here, as Zeraora can hopefully, you know, scare out the Cobalion, because I can't set up on Cobalion because I think Empoleon will go down to close combat. But he actually went to a Alola Muck, so that's pretty good. That's a Pokemon that I don't think Empoleon can knock out unless I go for the Z-move on it, which I don't want to go for Z-move on it because I'd rather go for it on something else. Like maybe the Cobalion, because I don't want to miss a Hydro Pump on it. And in comes Chandelure. I expected the Chandelure to maybe be Choice Scarf because he brought it in, so I think it does outspeed Zeraora. So I just decided to sack my Scizor because Zeraora is actually pretty nice versus Altaria and the Cobalion. Just doing massive damage, potentially. So gonna try and set up on Chandelure, please. There's agility up and Hydro Pump to Chandelure. Unfortunately, that Shadow Ball does a ton. It's a 2-hit KO. Could be expected. Chandelure is really, really strong. And agility up. He does get a Spit F drop, but I don't think it matters. And unfortunately, I missed that Hydro Pump right there. And that is gonna be a gone Empoleon. So maybe I had a shot. If I knocked out the Chandelure right there, he goes into maybe the Altaria. I Ice Beam him. Altaria might live. I don't know the calc. I don't remember the calc, but it might live. And then even if it doesn't get knocked out, maybe it's in range of a Zeraora to knock it out with Plasma Fist, and then maybe I can knock out Cobalion with Plasma Fist. So that Hydro Pump really, really missed. I just didn't want to use it on the Chandelure because I didn't want to miss against Cobalion. But I guess I should have just used it on Chandelure, the Z move, because then I would have had a shot maybe with Zeraora. Because I didn't have a shot with Chandelure still with Zeraora. So yeah, that's going to be a GG versus Joey. Really nice game and really close. Unfortunately, he didn't miss a Hydro Pump and I missed a Hydro Pump as well. So I guess that's the karma that happens. And then over Alec over here, I guess, I don't know. He didn't really have much for my Zero Aura. Looking at his team, like he had 4 water types, so maybe he just needs to have like I said, a Nidoqueen, something to take on Zero or Chestnut, like what Joey has. Joey has a really well synergized team. He has a lot of Pokemon that can deal with my Pokemon, so it was a lot tougher to break through his team. I really had to just like find an opening and just maybe make a play or two. And Gaby over here. Gaby has an interesting team, but it doesn't really fare well in the UU tier, especially Sticky Webs, because a lot of Pokemon have priority and are just immune to Sticky Webs, and there's Rapid Spin Tentacle, so yeah, a lot of Pokemon don't really care about Sticky Webs, I would say, more than in the OU tier, because in the OU tier, there's like Pokemon that can really benefit with Sticky Webs, like Blacephalon, Kartana. They can just make those slower Pokemon, or average Pokemon even slower, and just have that overwhelming power and just outspeed them. So, not a lot of that in the UU tier, though. I mean, Mamoswine, definitely something that can abuse that, but other than that, maybe Gengar could be abused with that, maybe with Life Orb, but he was Choice Scarf, so that's interesting. But anyways, that's going to be it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, do a thing, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, peace.